Welcome everybody back to the Park Lark channel. Today we've made our way over to the Disneyland Resort, and in particular the Disney California Adventure Park. You can see it behind me. Today is March the 30th, 2026. It's the first day of spring break here for the local school districts. And so it might be a little bit crowded, but judging by what I saw in the Toy Story parking lot, not so bad actually. It was pretty light by Disney standards in terms of the number of cars in the parking lot. So why don't you come along and let's see what we can find out and share with you. Come on, let's go. So just like that, we're in the park, and it's always like this here at the beginning. It's kind of a narrow area given the number of people that come to the resort, but I think once we get further in, it should get a little more spread out, but who knows, we'll see. Vloggers have said that they were removing these from Disneyland, but I found two here in the on the California Adventure side. So this is a bit of a Magic Key bonus. They are providing Magic Key holders these maps and stickers on the back side of that that flat in the foreground is a map, and the map has these circles to apply the stickers that are on the other page. And I think what you end up doing is you go around the park and you try to locate the various spots that are depicted on the map, as you can see here. So I'll take a better look at it and then probably be able to describe it better. And I think that once you complete all of the circles and all of that, you may turn it in to get something else, but I'm not exactly sure. So I have to continue to read the rules and the whole objective and report back. So as we head our way through Grizzly Peak area, passing the Soaring over California, I'll read to you the map description in the Disneyland app. It says, pick up a specifically designed activity map and take your quest through Disney California Adventure. Celebrate 25 years of Disney California Adventure Park with the activity map available for Magic Key holders. The availability started in March 13th and runs through while supplies last. So today's the 30th, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and so they still continue to have them. So that's good. We'll see how long they go. So Grizzly River Run has reopened just in time for the spring break crowds, and it was closed for well over a month while they were doing some refurbishment. At one part of the river, they were retheming some of the the banks of the river to include some artificial logs, and they serve as hiding the fencing that was along the edges to give a more realistic view of a wild river with a raft that the raft is being carried through. So this is the queue for the river raft, but a lot of people don't realize, I don't think, that there is a walking path through the theming area that is inside the path of the river. And off to the side here is a viewing area so that you can get pictures of people coming down the slide. We'll stand here and see to show you what I mean. Now this area up above, there goes one. So this area up above here is part of the path that you take. So you float along and you go down and you make your way around and you come sliding down the slide here. So this area in here where you can see logs that kind of line the left and the right side of the river, those are the logs I was referring to that they were putting in and replacing what was like a little fence that was sticking up through the water and kind of taking away from the full effect that it could have been. So kudos to Disney Imagineers who continue to improve and work on the theming of these attractions here at the Disneyland Resort and through all the other Disney parks around the world. One of the interesting things about these round rafts is that they end up doing exactly what you see. They bump and spin and continue to change the angle, and so no one is riding backwards or riding forwards. It's a constant change of direction for them as the outside of the raft rubs up against the shore, which is stationary, and spins it from the momentum that the raft has in the water. So this is the end of the attraction. They are headed into the station where they will disembark the raft, and then it moves around like a moving round table. So on one side of the table they get off, and then on the other side they're getting on, and then it continues on into the beginning of the river. Further up the mountain up there, there are waterfalls that will, if turned on, will get the passengers wet. On a hot day, that feels great. On a day like today, may not be so welcoming. By no means is today a cold day. I'm in a t-shirt. My guess is it's probably in the mid-70s, mid to low 70s. It's been overcast most of the day. It's a kind of a light overcast. It's an interesting weather day today throughout Southern California. But I think it's providing a nice break from the heat that we've been having over the past couple of weeks, where a few weeks ago it was in the upper 90s, mid to upper 90s. It's now back way off. And so, like I said, it's predicted to be like 77, 78 today. But I think it's probably now, it's after 4 p.m., approaching 5, so it's probably lower than that. But if you're wet, and you're wet from any kind, even if this water was heated, you would feel uncomfortable because you would start to feel chill. And here's a look at the sculpted feature of this area of the Grizzly Peak. That is supposedly a bear head, naturally formed, but as you know, as humans tend to find relevance to random shapes, although this was imagined to be that way. Here's the exit and boarding round table that I talked about. The rafts are, I don't know if you can kind of see here in the foreground that there is a black and yellow stripe that's moving from right to left. And so that's the outer edge of the table. You can see there moving into the frame a raft. And so they exit and then they enter. So this clanking that you're hearing, and perhaps you can kind of see a movement from right to left. This is the incline that the rafts are carried up. So like in any kind of gravity-based attraction or ride, you have to go from one level up. So this is taking them up, and then the rest is gravity pulling them down the course and into the splash zone that you saw earlier. So the whole theming here at this end of the river ride, or the river rafting ride, is a mill of sorts, and you can see the water wheel turning based on, you know, the fact that the water is moving it. And that is doing some other pulley action that is meant to imply that the conveyor that I was describing a moment ago, that you can kind of see moving there, is, and there's a raft that's going up the ramp here, is actually moving that, but that's just for the show. The water wheel is not actually turning the mechanism. The water looks very refreshing. It's chlorinated, so it's going to stay nice and clear looking. And there's a bit of a chlorine scent in the air. Not too bad. So we made it to the lagoon here at Pixar Pier. In the distance you can see the Incredicoaster. It's a high-speed roller coaster that has a inversion loop there around that goes around the Pixar Pier sign. Then you have the giant Pixar Pal Around, which is a Ferris wheel, but here at Disney California Adventure it's referred to as the Pixar Pal Around. It's got two types of gondolas. There are gondolas that are attached and fixed, and they will, as the wheel rotates, they will remain essentially vertical. But then you can see some others that are on tracks. And as the wheel is turning, they are swinging very much unlike the others that are attached on a fixed axle on the outer edge. So you just ask for which way you want to go. There's separate queues, I believe, for each one of those. And yeah, you can either have a predictable, enjoying ride, or you can get a little bit of a thrill ride by getting on the others that swing around and go back and forth. This area here in the foreground is used extensively by Disney. They use it primarily every night as a viewing for guests to stand in and view the water show that takes place. It's the World of Color fountain show, and so I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but these little dots or nozzles that you can see protruding out of the water on the lake surface, those are actual fountains that are connected to high pressure lines. And so the computer that runs the program for the show will you know, pump water through those nozzles, and those nozzles are either adjustable to change the way that the water comes out, either in a spray or in a solid cannon-like spray or I don't know how to describe it, stream. And then they're probably also articulated, meaning that an electric motor can move the nozzle back and forth, and so you can end up with like dancing waters kinds of things. Then those houses in the back where you might be able to see some green lights, that is the lighting and projection rigs. And so part of the World of Color show is that they use the water as a projection screen, and so from behind they are showing the images of Disney characters or animation that's actually being played up against the water, and so you can get quite a bit of entertainment. These other items here that have lights are all used as part of the show. There's also speakers and sound system throughout this area. So it's a full immersive show that happens every night, almost always every night. There are some exceptions, but they're few. And so, yeah, it looks like they're getting ready for tonight's performance. They usually do 2. And so now that we've gone past the daylight savings time thing, and days are getting longer, and we've had the equinox a week ago, we will get more and more daylight. And so the shows will go later into the evening. Even though on a general basis, Disney California Adventure will close at 10 p.m., they do have a World of Color that is scheduled for 10:30, but you need to have a virtual queue, and that's done through the Disney app, and you have to get those pretty early in the day because they do sell out. And so if you're Disneyland, which is the park across the Esplanade, they usually are open, especially during the peak season of the summer, till midnight. And the closing time on this side, on the California Adventure side, is 10 p.m. So even though they're technically closed, this area will still have a performance at 10:30, and people are streaming over from Disneyland to watch the show, and they even go back to Disneyland for about another hour to 2 hours. Or from after this show, they might just then head back to where they came from, be it home if they're local, or to their hotel had they traveled to come to the Disneyland Resort. Currently, they're also observing the annual Food and Wine Festival for 2026, and so that's going on between now and mid-April, I believe. So Food and Wine is basically where they have these food booths and beverage booths and each of the booths that are scattered up and down certain locations throughout the park will be offering certain festival foods and drinks, which are all described in a little pamphlet that you can pick up when you come into the park. So this is one of the booths that I was describing, and there's another one a little ways down. So through this whole promenade, which is the parade route, serves as a parade route as well, is lined with these booths, and like I mentioned, they each have different menus, and one of the other things you can do is you can buy a la carte, which means that you can get 1 or 2 items and that's it, or you can go to one of the stores up in the Buena Vista Hollywood area and purchase a pass, which basically has these coupons that you can use, and I believe there are up to 8. So you can get any combination of food item or drink item, and some of those drinks are alcohol, by the way. Not all of them, but many are. And so you can purchase those things with that sip and savor pass. And if you're a Magic Key holder, you can then apply your Magic Key discount And so the discount percentage, youth are so excited when they come to Disneyland. So the discount ranges from anywhere, I think, from 10 to 20% for food. The higher percentage is for the Inspire Magic Key, which is the most expensive key, and the 10, I think, is for the lower ranges, which the difference between the Magic Keys are the top Magic Key, Inspire, has the least number of blackout dates, 2 weeks at the end of the year. It includes parking, and as long as you can get a reservation, you can come to the park. The other levels of Magic Keys have varying degrees of availability that you can come in. In other words, their blackout days are going to be greater as you move down the pay scale. So that if you pay less, more blackout days. No parking, and your discounts are reduced. So we're walking through Cars Land as I was describing the Magic Keys. And by the way, if you have any additional interest in the varieties of Magic Keys, you can go to Disneyland.com, or you can download the Disneyland app and look up Magic Keys. All of the information is there, online. So I came over to this side of Cars Land to show a little bit of what's going on here. I'll try to talk over the PA system for the Luigi ride that's underway right now. But you can see there in the background the white riggings that is part of the new Avengers campus that's being constructed. And it's basically an expansion of Avengers campus, which is to the left. And this is going to be a dark ride, but the details of the dark ride I don't think are quite made available yet. So they're in their construction of the show building and whatever else it's going to include. But the purists have been talking about the fact that there's a bleed over here, that the theming of Cars Land is being intruded on, because you can see that you can see that construction, and you can see a totally different land. And so I thought I would mention it in this video. My suspicion is these trees that you see here on the left, they will also be back behind that fence there, and that will eventually block that. Or there will be some other kind of obstruction that will separate Avengers Campus from Cars Land, and you won't have any of the I can't talk. You won't have any of the view bleed over that is currently visible. But again, this is during construction, and so there are going to be periods of breaking the magic, so to speak. But I don't think it's detrimental in any way. I don't think it matters a bit for many people. So behind these construction walls, which have these posters on them, you can see the screen that's back there that is hiding construction behind them. And that is, this path used to be open, and you could transition from Cars Land into Avengers Campus. And the word is that will be reinstated once all the construction of the new area is completed and it's open to the public. How it will look and which direction it will meander is yet to be seen. But I think this building is going to be partly restrooms and something else, and we'll find out in a year or two. But anyway, I thought I would show it to you guys. There is quite a bit of construction that is planned for the Disneyland Resort, and there's a lot of excitement by those of us who cover the theme parks on YouTube. And so if you are a follower of the Park Lark channel and other channels, I'm sure you're staying abreast of all the developments that are coming up. But if any of you have any specific questions or want clarification, if I know, I will reply. If I don't, I'll find out and reply that way. Or I may even cover it in an upcoming video. So please feel free to interact with me through the comment section. And you know, maybe some of you don't know, but comments do play a role in how the videos are served up to other consumers or viewers of theme park content. And so your comment does help in that regard, as well as liking the video and also subscribing to the channel. Thank you. The interesting thing about this area in the cones is that the fluorescent nature of these cones, they paint them and the sun just bleaches them, and they're already showing, they just were recently updated and they're already showing bleaching from the sun. If any of you know, leave a comment in the comment section. Which vehicle brand, automobile brand, are these lights from? I guess I have to talk because there is copyrighted music being played here on in this land. So this is the other side of the screen that from the Avenger Campus side. We were originally shooting from the Cars Land side to Avengers Campus. Now we're in reverse. We're in the Avengers Campus side shooting towards the Cars Land. So again, I think it's going to be a restroom. There could be other services in there. We'll have to wait and see. So here's another angle of the construction that's going on for the expansion of the Avengers Campus. They have this, gosh, there is a name for what I'm trying to think of and I can't think of it at the moment. But anyway, it'll be a roof of sorts, and yeah, you can see that it's growing. It looks like it's growing this direction, so we'll have to wait and see what it ultimately looks like. I'll come a little over so I can pan off to the left, and you can see this building here that's already constructed, and so that is been there since the area was initially developed. And if I can get it into the frame, I'll show you. Yeah, there is one of the ships at the top of there, and sometimes they'll have characters standing up there, but just depends on on a lot of factors, I guess, and there's nobody up there at this moment. And there goes Loki. So here is an Imagineering rendition of what they're building, and the current name is Avengers Infinity Defense, and it'll be a dark ride. We'll have to wait and see the extent of it. Some seem to think it's going to be a ride that is reminiscent of what is inside Epic Universe, and so yeah, people sit in these pods and it spins you around and moves you up and down, and there is a part of a story that I think is being told. So I think that's part of it. We'll see what it all materializes to in the future when the new area opens up to the public. There's another rendition, and you can kind of see, let's see if I can point out something familiar here. Okay, so here's the building that I was pointing to earlier, that ship that's on top. This building has been here since this land opened up. This is the area that's being constructed. Cars Land is in that direction there, So as you can see, there is greenage here, or landscaping that will serve to block the lines of view from bleed over from one land to another, as I was describing earlier. So a lot of people like to make who over something that really isn't necessarily who yet in the final product. Then this is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. That used to be the Hollywood Tower of Terror, and it was rethemed many years ago to its current Avengers tie-in with Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a meet and greet area that currently isn't being staffed or anybody here, but the character, whoever the character is that's out, will stand there, and there could be a photographer, a PhotoPass photographer that's part of the Disney cast member. And then over on this side is the waiting queue. So you make your way through over that way, and then you can take your picture. Go ahead and show you something that has been made available. It was under construction for many months toward the end of last year and into this year. And this used to be an area, these columns here, this colonnade, used to have the Fast Pass when they used to use it for issuing Fast Passes to the Hollywood Tower of Terror. But they've moved away from that for many years now, and now they offer Lightning Lane at a cost. The Fast Pass, at least in the beginning, was free. You just needed to come over and request it, and it would issue you a kind of a front of the line kind of ticket with a time, and so you could use it at that time, enter the queue, the Fast Pass queue, and get onto the ride without waiting an hour or whatever the situation was. Now it's a seating area, and I heard that it has a capacity of 100 people, but I don't know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But this type of stuff is needed desperately here in the parks. And I understand that there is a power struggle between Imagineering and the parks management. Parks management wants to see more of this type of usage because guests are asking for it. They have a lot of walk-ups food service, but you have no place to eat. You have to stand over a trash can to serve as a table. And so this serves as a way to, you can dine. You can dine like a person instead of something else. So that's good that they're doing this. A lot more of this is needed, though, because there are a lot of people that enter the parks each and every day, and I'm glad that somebody in the Disney Parks management is listening and doing something about it. Kudos to them. I thought I would show you the relic. The red car trolley was decommissioned last year, I believe sometime in October, maybe November. And the reason they did that was because of the Avengers Campus expansion that we were talking about a moment ago. And the reason is that the service building for the trolley was torn down to make room for what they're constructing back there as the expansion. So yeah, it's a relic. Although at the beginning, I don't know if my shot covered it, there is a red trolley car that is just parked on the track, and it serves as theming for the entry. It's not used any longer. So there's some refurbishment scrim here that has been erected at the corner entrance to the Hollywood Studios area. So the Disney company does this regularly, and yeah, the elements do take their toll on the facades in terms of paint, and so they need to be refurbished regularly, and so they're doing it now during these off seasons in preparation for the summer season, which is the peak season. So here's a view of the red car trolley. It is themed after the Pacific Electric, which was a railroad that was in existence in the late 1800s into the 1900s and into the mid 1900s, when trolleys and streetcars were eliminated in favor of automotive buses. I do have a video that was taken at the Southern California Railway Museum, so I'll put the link in there and you can kind of look at that video, and it will cover a lot of that old vintage equipment. So regardless of your views on DEI, let it be known that here at the Disneyland Resort, Disneyland Park, Walt's original Magic Kingdom, Mickey has given way to Minnie here on the Floral Mickey, the Topiary Minnie rather, and here in the beautiful golden state of California. So here you leave today and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy. And you look like that when you come in. Just like that, we're into the Disneyland Park, and we did a park hop. That's another benefit of the Magic Key. Under current rules, the park hopping begins at 11 a.m. And so depending upon your reservation, if you have a reservation with Disneyland and you want to go to California Adventure, you have to, and you're here before 11, you have to wait till 11 to be able to do that. But once 11 clicks by and you've arrived to either park, to the resort, then you can walk to either side without having to go to the original park that you reserved for. Fun fact. Clock says it's 6 p.m. Well, that's going to do it, everybody, here from the Disneyland Resort. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and come back to the channel often. We always have something good going on here on the channel, coming from Southern California, the theme parks here in Southern California, and also special events. So come on back. We'll see you real soon. Have a good night, everybody.